We are answering your questions about what to do in that situation. And career coach Chrissy Civic from Eat Your Career is here to answer your questions all about this topic.
I know, it's such an interesting one.
It is a fascinating topic. And one of the first things I wanted to ask you is, how common is this?
It's more common than you might think. There's a certain aspect of it that's kind of unavoidable in the team environment, right? Management typically does get the credit for the work that their team has done. Hopefully you have a great manager who turns around and shares that credit, but it doesn't always happen that way. But when you have a colleague who is actually actively taking credit for your work, they're taking ownership of it, that can be a huge problem for your career. I mean, your accomplishments are kind of like currency in the workplace. The more you accumulate, the further ahead you're going to get. And if someone is stealing your currency, that's a problem.
Right. And you have to know how to self-promote, but you don't want to be that person. So
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah, well, there's a few things. First off, you want to address it with the person right away in kind of a professional, polite, easygoing manner, because you never know. I mean, give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this was unintentional. Maybe it was a mistake and they didn't even realize they were doing it. It could be a really easy fix. If it was intentional, then by addressing it, you're showing them that you're not just going to ignore this situation. And then you actually brought up a really good point, too, about self-promotion, right?
Oh, okay.
We all want to be humble. We don't want to be arrogant or anything like that. Our actions should speak for themselves. But the problem is that makes it really easy for people to come along and take credit for your work. So you want to talk about what you're working on, the progress you're making, all of your great accomplishments. The more vocal you are, the harder it is to take things from you.
Right. And of course, we have professional awards and so many different things we rely on to help build our resume and build
Those are things that get you ahead. They're really important.
Right.
At some point, you might also have to kind of go over or around the person as well. If it gets a little more extreme, then you might need to talk to someone, let them know, hey, I just want to give you the facts about who contributed what in this situation. It's not that you're playing victim. You're just giving the facts in the situation.
And you mentioned before about sharing the credit if you're a manager.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of want to demonstrate the behavior that you want from other people, right? So if you don't want people to steal credit for your work, you better not be doing it to them.
Yep.
So if somebody helps you and you're really successful with something, share the credit, give praise, acknowledge them publicly. And at the same time, if something goes wrong, you want to take your fair share of the blame as well. It's all about being a good teammate.
Well, I thought you did great in that interview, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. It's good to see you. Hey, Kirk, you're doing great, too.
Thank you. Wow, it's compliments all around. I appreciate that. Thanks, Brooke. 20 minutes after 8 right now.